If you've ever been bullied at work and you've thought, I should just quit, nothing's going to change, I can't win my lawsuit, I'm just going to move on to the next thing, this might change your mind. As an American researcher now living in the UK, I'm learning how workplace bullying is navigated here. So I attended a webinar last Friday hosted by Vala, a company founded by Danae Gell, who the TikTok algorithms have put on my radar. Their whole business is supporting people through the legal process of workplace bullying claims in the UK. She did this webinar with Donna Patterson, who I'd never heard of, who has given a TEDx talk on her experience winning against her workplace bully without a lawyer because she couldn't afford one. And I love that she was transparent about, like, she didn't do it without a lawyer just for cred. Like, she did it because she didn't have an option. And that's why a lot of first generation working class professionals get taken advantage of. I've talked about the research on that you're more likely to be abused at work if you're first generation. Something that really struck me was Donna said lawyers have deep legal expertise. Like, she's not dismissing that. But something you need to remember is you are the expert in your own case. Nobody else experienced what you did. Nobody else was there but you and your bully. And nobody knows the impact on you better than you. And what struck me wasn't just that she won and her awareness of the real experience, but also how much both Danae and Donna talked about how the system of bullying relies on unwritten rules, which is what I research. I research the unwritten rules of work for the working class and neurodivergence. Recognizing the experience that you are going through and recognize your expertise is important, because I did not know that in the UK, you documenting your experience of what happened to you, making a written record, is considered as evidence in your legal case here. I remember one of my mentors telling me to make a record of the case or of the situation when I was going through a really bad bullying situation several years ago, and I emailed it to her, and she did that to have a timestamp. But I don't think it's as clear cut in the US. I'm not a lawyer, I'm an organizational psychologist, but there's that. But in the UK, it seemed to me in the webinar that the standard you have to show in court is the balance of probability. You have to show you're 51% credible, not beyond a reasonable doubt. So you have to show, like, what is the probability that this happened and what the impact was. I'm early in the learning the UK laws around this, so follow Vala to hear from the people that are experts on this. But I found that super interesting. And in the US, you have a higher burden of proof you have to show, but you can also sue for emotional damages, so your record is still important. Plus, it's going to make you feel better, and it's going to keep it fresh in a way that's healthy for you, that you don't have to relive it every day, but that you aren't going to miss details and let them trip you up if you've already written it down. Something else that I thought was really important was they talk about the different filings that you do when you file the bullying report. There's a point, I think they called it the E3, where the employer writes back what they're claiming you did, and then it was really important to not respond to their response. But it's really hard because they're going to say some bullshit. So I learned a lot. If you're in the UK, I definitely recommend following and learning from these people. They had some free resources that I still need to dive through, but I thought it was really excellent. And I totally agree with the ideology that they talk about. I tell people all the time that bullying and unwritten rules thrive in the dark. Toxic workplaces in general thrive in the dark. How people get away with things like this is making you think you're the only one, that it's a you problem. And it's not, it's a system problem. I want you to think of how many people you know who are actually happy at their jobs. Like people you know intimately, not like the fake coworker, right? Like people who are your friends and your family. It is not a you problem. There are systemic flaws in how this is made. People do this because people don't know their rights and they fall for intimidation tactics. And you don't have to do that. Bullying thrives when organizations claim we didn't know. That's not our culture. They misinterpreted. And when you document with dates, witnesses, timestamp, specific behaviors, and especially if you're in the US, the outcome on the business, you're building a paper trail that's a lot harder to ignore. So document everything, learn the unwritten rules, go to my playlist for that, know your options. And if you're in the UK, check these people out. I think they do this like once a month. I don't get any money for this. I just thought it was fantastic, and it just aligns really well with my mission, and I want to gas up other small businesses that are helping people navigate the ultimate big bullies, which are the corporations, even some toxic political leaders, making it harder for you to know what your rights are, because you deserve to be able to support your livelihood and not be in financial hardship because you get treated like shit.